Now on 4 News Now at 6, accusations of neglect, abuse, and even rape at a North Idaho youth home. Why is it still operating? And are children still in danger?
And we have more beautiful fall weather on the way, but it's not going to last long. When you can expect to see a major shift in the weather coming up.
And a man admits to killing a girl with a cinder block 18 years ago. Why he won't face any prison time for the murder. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. Accusations of abuse and neglect, poor staff training, and state investigations have plagued a North Idaho youth home. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Earlier this month, Cornerstone Cottage in Post Falls was the subject of an in-depth investigation by the nonprofit journalism organization Investigate West. The report detailed whistleblower complaints and allegations that led to an 84-page report filed with the state of Idaho. Tonight, Robin Nance shows us what that report entails and how the owner of the home is responding.
Cornerstone Cottage in Post Falls is not a regular foster home. The therapeutic facility houses preteen and teen girls who have been through such intense trauma they need more care than regular foster care could offer.
I genuinely believed that this place intended to do good, and I wanted to be a part of that.
Emily Carter joined the staff here in 2020 and not long after started compiling a list of complaints. And while she experienced her own trauma at a therapeutic boarding school when she was a teen,
I have never seen things like I saw at Cornerstone.
Carter and several former co-workers paint a grim picture of what happened here. Information from police reports and internal memos, information that includes multiple suicide attempts, girls attacking staff members and each other, a lack of staff training, and even a case of statutory rape by a staff member. That man admitted the inappropriate relationship, was fired, charged, and convicted. This woman, who goes by the name Mara, stayed at Cornerstone Cottage on 2 different occasions. It was during Mara's second stay that she says another girl at the home attacked her.
I was physically assaulted. I developed a TBI, and to this day, I still suffer with aura migraines and partial blindness when I get them. And this was a result of the staff not being trained properly.
Investigate West found that in Cornerstone's first 5 years, it committed 111 licensing rule violations, including ineffective training. We took the complaints to Cornerstone owner and executive director, Jim Smith.
The article says, Cornerstone repeatedly put children in harm's way.
So their behaviors are big and their behaviors at times are very, very explosive. Do we put them in those situations? No. Do they experience those situations? Absolutely. And we're there to help them any way we can through those things, to learn skills, to gain the ability to overcome these things. Put them in harm's way? I'm sorry, I'd have to say I disagree.
In a 5-year period, Post Falls police were called to Cornerstone 317 times. That's more than once a week on average. Calls range from breaking up fights to returning runaways. So many calls were made to 911 that a supervisor instituted a crackdown. In an internal memo Emily Carter shared with me, a supervisor threatened to fire anyone who called for emergency help under any circumstances without first going up the chain of command.
My biggest concern is that a kid is going to die. We've been reading the police reports, and there have been numerous instances where it seems like by a stroke of luck, a kid didn't die.
Emily says she went to work at Cornerstone Cottage to help kids in crisis.
And I was hoping to, go out into the world and help troubled teens like I was with a more appropriate method of treatment.
Because of her own experience, she's made it her mission to uncover mistreatment at youth homes. In fact, before she took that job at Cornerstone Cottage, she co-founded an organization that aims to prevent abuse and empower survivors of what's called the troubled teen industry.
There is no other voice for them besides the state. And if the state refuses to investigate,
the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare has investigated Cornerstone Cottage in the past, and when that 84-page complaint was sent, Smith says investigators came at once.
And when that was done, after several weeks and several people, and tore us apart top to bottom, looking at absolutely everything, guess what? No restrictions on us, no removal of our license, no taking any kids out of our facility. None of those things happened. That was what the response to the claim was.
The state did halt new admissions during its investigation, but that restriction was ultimately lifted.
The state did substantiate the vast majority of the complaint. I received a letter shortly after, and I don't know if there was any continuing investigation. I haven't seen any evidence of that.
Carter claims she was fired for coming forward. Once that report came out, she did not work another shift. None of the people involved in filing that report with the state kept their jobs. Because the home is privately owned, whistleblowers don't have the same protections as if they were raising issues about a state-run agency.
I've never received a write-up. I never received any type of disciplinary warning. I never was interacted with in that way at all.
Smith says he did not know who was behind the report and says Emily and the others were fired for poor job performance.
I think she came with a premeditated, predetermined agenda, and at the moment that we brought her on board, our goose was cooked.
A lot of great stuff in the laws that, if they were followed, could result in, safe places for these kids to be. But if they're not enforced, then I don't understand the point of, having a licensing board or having all of these regulations when it seems like it doesn't really matter what a facility does.
Representatives from the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare declined to go on camera about this story, but they said they would answer written questions. I submitted those questions September 28th. I'm still waiting on a response. In Post Falls, Robin Nance, 4 News Now.
And since the Investigate West article was published, Representative Marco Erickson of Idaho Falls said he would support legislation demanding regulators make unannounced visits to these types of facilities. Right now, that is not required in Idaho. We have linked Investigate West's report to this story on KXLY.com. The man who triggered a shelter-in-place order near the Old Wolf Lodge east of Coeur d'Alene is now in jail. Idaho State Patrol says Jesse Spiegel, who had multiple felony warrants, was in a car chase with law enforcement. Then he stopped and made an attempt to run away. Well, you can take advantage of the above-average 70s that we've been enjoying because they're not going to last. Emily Bloom is in for Chris Crocker tonight with your First Alert forecast.
Beautiful conditions today, and that's going to continue through our evening. Now the sunny skies and warm temps, it's going to be rinse and repeat for your Thursday and your Friday as well. Temperatures right now across the region, most of us have dropped into those upper 60s from the lower 70s where we were just a few hours ago. And this slow progression of our temps dropping is going to continue through the next couple of hours. Our high today in Spokane of 72 degrees, well above that seasonal average of 56 for this time of year. And like I mentioned, you'll see the same thing tomorrow. Now for the next couple of hours, temperatures dropping into those lower 50s by 9 p.m. We'll be down to 51 by about 11 p.m. this evening. And you can see clear skies. Overnight low in downtown Spokane is going to be 44 degrees. This is where we're going to be as you are waking up on your Thursday. Mostly clear and mild conditions, and those winds nice and light as well. If you need to get the dog out for a walk tomorrow, you're going to have plenty of opportunity to do so. If you're heading out the door early, though, that 8 a.m. hour, you'll want to bundle up. Temperatures will be in those mid 40s, and then we're back into those lower 70s by 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And by Saturday, temps dropping into the upper 60s, but it's Saturday into Sunday when we're going to see a big shift in the weather pattern. Cold front pulling through with cooler temperatures and plenty of rain in the forecast. We'll talk more about what exactly you can expect next week coming up in just a little bit.
Thank you, Emily. Well, you're looking at newly released images now from Spokane police of people accused of targeting pride flags and LGBTQ spaces in Spokane. We do have some video to show you that a homeowner gave 4 News Now. In it, you can actually see someone ripping a pride flag off of someone's porch. Police are asking for your help to catch these people. And for almost 3 weeks, pride murals, flags, and a center for LGBTQ youth have all been targeted. Spokane police could treat these as hate crimes. Bronte Swarovski is live tonight in the Perry District with the latest from police.
Well, Kirsten, police just released brand new images of these vandals. Now, police have at least 3 separate suspects. In these images, you can see a close-up of a masked person's face, as well as a pair of black striped shoes. Police have also released a photo showing the face of a second suspect wearing a gray mask. 3 suspects can be seen walking all together, although the third person's face is not shown. Police are still looking into whether these incidents are hate crimes. In Washington, it is a felony to damage someone's property because of their sexuality. Now, if you have any information on these suspects, reach out to Spokane Police. We put their information up on our website, KXLY.com. Reporting live in the Perry District, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Bronte. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office is also asking for your help trying to find this man. He's accused of robbing the First Interstate Bank on 57th Avenue on the South Hill in Spokane. Investigators say he walked up to the teller and handed her a note demanding that she put money in his bag. The teller complied, fearing for her safety. The suspect then walked out. Anyone with information is asked to call the sheriff's office. Well, still ahead, check your mailbox because ballots for next month's election are being sent out now. What officials say you should do to make sure that your vote doesn't get disqualified. Plus.
Hi, it's Chris Crocker. I'm live at the Flying Squirrel in Spokane Valley, where 2 of our Coats for Kids sponsors, Flying Squirrel and STCU, are teaming up. I'll tell you all about the good things happening with Coats for Kids after the break.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
26 years strong.
Join us for jackpots, food, and fun at Mystic Rock Casino Hotel.
Can we really trust Lisa Brown? She hands out our tax dollars to convicted felons, like Lataxion, a 3 strikes felon convicted of attempted murder. On Brown's watch, the Department of Commerce gave Lataxion a $50,000 taxpayer grant. Then he was arrested for strangling his girlfriend while her young kids were home. She even granted money to the Bail Project of Spokane, which bails out violent offenders. We can't trust Lisa Brown to keep Spokane safe.
It was in August, fires raged through our area. This one, the Gray Fire in Medical Lake. Homes destroyed, trees destroyed along with it. They've got to come down and get moved out for the rebuild. We're here in mid-October to help move them. The 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by and with volunteers from Horizon Credit Union.
Experience the breathtaking production that leaves both audiences and critics awestruck. Les Miserables.
November 14th through 19th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets available at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Did you know Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch? Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Funds are limited. Apply today. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
The fall savings are still on at all Walker's Furniture and Mattress stores with some of the best deals of the season, where you can save anywhere from 15 to 40% off. Plus, get special 5 years financing during the final days of fall savings at Walker's.
Next, ET.
Hey y'all, I'm in Nashville with Luke Grimes celebrating his debut music.
It's an ET exclusive.
Plus, it's Disney Night on Dancing with the Stars. Next, ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
This time of year, conditions can change drastically in minutes. For weather that extreme, you need the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Team. Online, on the air, and on the app. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
Well, Coats for Kids is definitely one of our favorite traditions here at 4 News Now. The goal is to make sure that every kid in the Inland Northwest has a nice warm coat to wear during our harsh winter. Over the years, we've helped thousands of kids do just that, and this year will be no different. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is live at one of the collection sites for Coats for Kids. It's Flying Squirrel Trampoline Park. I can hear the music, Chris. It's a party in Spokane Valley.
It is so much fun, and look at all of the kids behind me, and this is 40,000 square feet of just non-stop good, clean fun. So many trampolines and zip lines and foam pits and climbing walls and basketball basketball on trampoline, and there's silks hanging from the ceiling. And most of the folks here are with STCU. It's STCU night. Two of our Coats for Kids partners coming together. Marty Dickinson is here. You have an update since 5 o'clock. You counted how many coats you've gotten so far, just the first half of Coats for Kids.
Yes, in our branches, we've collected over 400 coats so far, so we're pretty excited.
That is wonderful, and we will get those coats cleaned and into the hands of people who need them, and your reach goes far beyond just Spokane.
It does, Chris. We are in Central Washington, we're in Tri-Cities, and we are collecting coats in those branches and then ensuring those coats stay local as well.
And you also have branches in North Idaho.
North Idaho, we have them in Brewster, Washington. I mean, it's just all over our Eastern Washington footprint and North Idaho, but really making sure those coats do stay local for our local kids.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, STCU. I have been jumping. Marty, you have yet to go jump on the trampolines. So we're going to go jump and have more in the next half hour, Kirsten.
I saw those hot pink socks popping out of your purse earlier. Chris is ready to hop. All right. Thanks, Chris. We'll see you soon.
Yes.
What a great cause and looking like a great time as well. Now those coats, they'll be necessary by the middle of next week. We've got a big change in the weather pattern coming this weekend with a cold front pulling through. What that means is nice conditions through Saturday, but then everything changes on Sunday as rain returns to the forecast. I'll talk more about what exactly you can expect coming up in just a few minutes.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
This week's Washington Trust Shred location is at the Valley Branch.
Flooring is not forever. Are you tired of stains, traffic patterns, chips, dents, scratches, and the smells? Shop for the perfect flooring for your life, whether you need carpet, laminate, or hardwood. Great Floors is here to help you reinvent your space. We're celebrating Karastan Month in October by offering incredible discounts on Karastan carpet and hardwood flooring. Ask about our in-house 0% 12-month financing. Visit a Great Floors today and spend the winter on Great Floors.
At Just Between Friends, you'll find everything you need for your family. It's all here.
I've been shopping in JBF since my kids were little, and we just love it.
Is the one-stop shop for everything that you need for your kids and your grandkids.
I'm a first-time mom. I got a lot of clothing, shoes, I got a changing table. It's been a lot of fun.
Such a blessing to be able to shop, sell, and save at JBF. This has been a game changer for our family.
Just Between Friends at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds this weekend.
As a skeleton, I used to make a living scaring the pants off people, but I'm older now and less spooky. So I got this commercial gig for Northern Quest's $50,000 Roll the Bones giveaway. You can enter to win your share of $50,000 this month just by playing with your Camus Rewards card. And I can chat up that witch ornament across the street. Nice broom, Ursula.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, it's the bristles really match your eyes.
The most important issue in this mayor's race, crime and public safety. I'm Nadine Woodward. We cannot let Spokane become Seattle. It's why I increased police patrols, opened new precincts, and got dangerous offenders off the streets with our Violent Crimes Task Force. My opponent? She's helped fund criminals and is supported by anti-police activists. I'm proud to be endorsed by law enforcement. I'm Nadine Woodward, and I approve this message. Let's make crime illegal again.
It was in August, fires raged through our area. This one, the Gray Fire in Medical Lake. Homes destroyed, trees destroyed along with it. They've got to come down and get moved out for the rebuild. We're here in mid-October to help move them. The 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by and with volunteers from Horizon Credit Union.
Welcome back to 4 News Now at 6. We are talking about the weather, and we've got a lot to talk about. Changes are on the horizon. For today, though, beautiful conditions, and that's going to continue here through the next couple of hours. Most of us made it into those lower 70s, but temperatures now falling into the mid to upper 60s, depending upon where exactly you are at. And as we make it through the next couple of hours, temperatures falling slowly. We'll be down into the lower 50s by about 9 p.m. and then 51 at 11 p.m. this evening, and you can see clear skies, mostly clear skies, and mild conditions, and those winds nice and light. 44 will be the overnight low in Spokane. This is where we're going to be as you are waking up on your Thursday. lows across the region, most of us falling into those 40s, low, mid, and upper 40s, depending upon where you're at. Kalispell will drop to 38 degrees and 35 for those of you in the Colville area. By tomorrow afternoon in Spokane, we'll be back up to 71 degrees. Sunny skies and those warm temperatures continuing. In terms of how we make it throughout the day, if you are heading out early in the morning, you're going to want to bundle up. This is one of those days where you definitely want to dress in layers. We're going to be in the mid 40s, 7 a.m. and then by 3 p.m. rather, we're into those lower 70s. So warm temperatures climbing throughout the day tomorrow. Warm pretty much all across the region. Most of us making it into those 70s, just a few areas holding back into those upper 60s for the highs tomorrow. Now temperatures right now well above that seasonal average for this time of year. Typically we're in the mid 50s, but you can see it's all changing Saturday into Sunday. We're going to have a cold front pulling through. Not only is it bringing cooler temperatures, also bringing rain back into the forecast. Now by the middle of next week, we're going to be talking about widespread frost and accumulating mountain snow as well. So if you have flowers that are still going strong, you're going to want to protect them, and it's time to harvest the garden as well.
That's a good reminder. Thank you, Emily. Well, with less than a month before the November election, your November ballot is in the mail. They were sent today, and the Spokane County Elections Office wants to make sure that you are registered properly. Peter Choi is live in studio tonight with information that voters need to know ahead of Election Day.
Yeah, Kirsten, check your mailbox. The ballot should be there tomorrow or Friday. Elections Office is encouraging everyone to check your personal information on the voter registration website and make sure your address is correct.
You could also check and see if your driver's license information is up to date. And you can update information for the driver's license and register to vote at the same time.
Now, if you're not registered, the Elections Office says you can register online. The deadline is October 30th. If you want to register in person, you need to stop by the Elections Office before Election Day, November 7th. Now, once you're registered, the Elections Office will send you a ballot. And do not panic if you don't get your ballot on time. The Elections Office says you can print it online to cast your vote. Now, the Elections Office says the biggest mistake that voters make every year is putting a ballot in a security envelope. Make sure to put it in the yellow security envelope first, then the white envelope next. For more questions, call the Spokane County Elections Office at 477-2320. In studio tonight, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Peter. Crime has been a hot topic as we near the November election. One proposal meant to address crime is Measure 1. This is a sales tax measure to fund a new jail. And the Sheriff's Office says this would allow officers, deputies to spend their time more wisely. Allison Martinez has more.
These are some of the few holding cells in the downtown Spokane jail. These cells fill up very quickly, which causes more consequences than you would think.
It is a daily struggle, every day.
Suzanne Mittleider says she had multiple instances when her business was threatened by crime.
I was always the type like, oh, you need to move on, but everybody's like, oh, you can't say anything because they'll retaliate or they'll come back and you don't want your windows broke.
She used to call for the police but says the wait was too long or they didn't show up at all. So why the delay? I spoke to Sheriff John Knowles, who says this is in part an effect of overcrowding at the jail. Sometimes the jail will go on red light status. This means the jail is too full to book criminals. Instead, they wait with officers outside.
Sometimes it goes on for hours, and we'll have one sitting here, and then another one behind them, and another one behind them, and they'll go all the way around the corner here, 6 or 7 vehicles.
That means 6 or 7 less deputies or officers free to protect you and your family.
They're completely taken off the street. They're not able to go out and make positive community contacts. They're not able to go out and help with the myriads of calls for service that we're getting.
For example, response times for calls about burglaries, domestic violence, and more are longer.
It's not hard to imagine why members of our community don't necessarily feel as safe as they once did.
Sheriff Knowles says this problem would be fixed by a bigger jail. Opponents to Measure 1 say more research is needed before implementing such a big sales tax increase. City Council recently voted to oppose the measure, stating, quote, "As proposed now, this measure is a $1 billion blank check with no plan behind it. We have asked for a delay for conversation, collaboration, and a comprehensive plan, but this delay was denied," end quote. You can vote on Measure 1 in the November election. Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Netflix just announced it's raising its prices again. How much it will soon cost you to stream your favorite shows. And the president pledging support to Israel and the millions of innocent Palestinians trying to escape the violence. What could prevent that aid from reaching families in need? Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Children's Miracle Network meets the unique needs of kids in the hospital like Jade, our Sacred Heart champion who is now cancer-free.
That's why Numerica is donating $1 for every drink sold at Dutch Bros to support Children's Miracle Network on Wednesday, October 18th.
Our mission is to provide the best care, a friendly environment, and to save the lives of kids across our region.
Help support Miracle Coffee Day by grabbing a drink at Dutch Bros. Numerica Credit Union will donate up to $10,000.
Why join UFCW 3000? I'm the lead person when we negotiate with employers for better wages, benefits, and working conditions.
I appreciate UFCW 3000 for making sure we have fair wages, health care, and a pension plan. Things every working person deserves.
Our website can both answer your questions and connect you with our team who can help you explore your union opportunities.
Property crime increasing. Shootings in our parks. Homelessness crisis getting worse. Spokane, it doesn't have to be this way. Safer neighborhoods, a vibrant downtown, and people in need getting real help. That's my vision for our future. I'm Kim Please, candidate for Spokane City Council President. I'm a new voice for Spokane, and I'm asking for your vote.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
It's Broadway's #1 holiday hit musical, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical. November 10th and 11th, First Interstate Center for the Arts. On sale now.
With Chevy Silverado and Silverado HD, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. With the power of up to 36,000 pounds of max available towing and the confidence of an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado for you. Get 0% financing, plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $3,500 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a Turbo Max engine. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Bindi Irwin. She's faced pain and intense fatigue for years, and she says doctors dismissed it. Now this week, she reveals what she did and the procedure that finally helped change everything for her. It's what every woman should know. This week on Good Morning America.
4 News Now is brought to you by Gamma Knife.
What you just saw there was an Israeli airstrike hit near a hospital, according to the Palestinian Red Crescent. That's an independent Palestinian national society that is part of the International Red Cross. As of now, more than 4,500 people have died on both sides of this war since Hamas first attacked Israel almost 2 weeks ago.
October 7th, which was a sacred Jewish holiday, became the deadliest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust.
President Biden in Israel tonight, revealing his plan to not only support Israel in their fight against Hamas, saying he plans on asking Congress for an unprecedented support package for Israel's defense later this week. The president also promising to help the innocent Palestinians caught in the crossfire, announcing $100 million in humanitarian aid for Gaza.
Palestinian people are suffering greatly as well. We mourn the loss of innocent Palestinian lives like the entire world. I was outraged and saddened by the enormous loss of life yesterday in the hospital in Gaza.
Today, the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence says they are confident that blast was the result of a failed rocket launch by Hamas, that blast killing at least 500 people. Tomorrow, President Biden is set to address the nation from the Oval Office to discuss our response to Hamas's attack on Israel. You can watch that right here on 4 News Now, starting at 5 o'clock. Without a Speaker of the House or a U.S. ambassador to Israel, the president's plan could be delayed. Today, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee met to consider Biden's nominee for ambassador to Israel.
I'm going to have some questions for you about your activities in what I think was a backhanded way of supporting Iran.
Senate Democrats are pushing back and urging a swift confirmation as the U.S. has been without an ambassador to Israel since July.
I am committed to getting you in place in Israel as soon as possible.
Meanwhile, House Republicans still can't agree on who should be the next Speaker of the House. Ohio Republican Jim Jordan's nomination failed in a second-floor vote, leaving the House at a standstill.
There are a lot of people just very frustrated right now about this whole process, but we got to get our act together.
Well, still ahead on 4 News Now at 6:30, why UPS is limiting its deliveries to rural communities near Elk. Plus,
Go! Oh, I got one. Oops. Hi. We are live at Flying Squirrel. I just hit a STCU kid, but we are getting coats for kids here. I'll have an update after the break. Are you okay?
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Shop local at the Tin Roof.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, the waiting is over.
We have new Hondas in stock and ready for delivery. Plus, they all come with a lifetime warranty.
Come check out the all-new Honda CR-V and Accord hybrids.
Or maybe you're wanting the new Honda Ridgeline or newly designed Honda Pilot.
Whether you want a new car, van, or SUV, we have them in stock.
Family owned and operated in beautiful Coeur d'Alene, Idaho for over 55 years.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Visit us at our website, cdahonda.com.
Les Miserables, still the world's most popular musical. Experience the breathtaking production that leaves both audiences and critics awestruck. Les Miserables. November 14th through 19th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets available at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Hello, I'm Mark Peterson. It's that time of year again when Washington Trust Bank helps you dispose of your sensitive documents and protect your identity with 4 easy steps.
First, head to one of their 4 participating drive-through locations.
Second, fill your seal and shred bag with the documents that you want to destroy. Third, secure the seal and shred bag. Then, drop your bag off at DeVries where they will destroy your documents in their secure space. Pick up your seal and shred bag this Friday at Washington Trust Bank's Valley Financial Center.
Shop local at the Tin Roof.
Panic rooms in the USA. Next, Inside Edition. They saved so many lives in Israel. Now the new demand by American homeowners.
Just that feeling of security.
Panic rooms.
The new must-have for high-end luxury homes.
Then, is the truth about to come out in Natalie Holloway's murder? The courtroom revelations. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
It is the final day of cutting and chipping damaged trees in Medical Lake. This week, our Mark Peterson and the Extreme team have been working hard to take down these trees and clear the way to make it safe for families to rebuild. Mark shows us their progress.
The Extreme team and the volunteers, most of them from Horizon Credit Union, have finished the task that we were asked to complete, and we have completed it with the help of Cannon Hill and FMI, and well, let's not forget Cat Rents and all of the other people who came in just to help us when they could. It has been a long several days, but there are many days left for the area of Medical Lake and the Gray Fire victims. Earlier, I had a chance to talk with the mayor and asked her, what was the first week like?
That first week was shock, of course, and just trying to wrap my mind around the impact and prioritize, just how big of a problem do we have here and what's it going to take to be resilient and restore this community.
After the shock and putting the big picture together, everything came together rather quickly.
The response has been quick, it's been efficient, it's been effective, and I couldn't be more proud of all of our partners in the state and the region.
Resilient, tenacious, good to go, ready to work, and impatient.
Patience is needed, but help is coming. That's the message, and that it really is. And while 2 months seems like a long time, there's been a lot of good work started, and that more to come.
I love these flags. I asked him about it, and he said the lower one made it through the fire and was ripped up because of the winds. That top one, that's what I hope to see. Everything whole again, including their home that's going to be rebuilt. It is going to take time for this to happen. In the next 3 weeks, there's going to be a lot of forward movement, but in reality, it will take years before the Gray Fire looks much different than it does right now. I'm Mark Peterson, 4 News Now with the Extreme team in Medical Lake, where over the next 3 weeks, you're going to be asked to help a lot.
And as Mark just said, if you're looking for a way to help fire victims in Medical Lake, they need skilled sawyers to help cut down and limb burned trees this Saturday. You do have to pre-register online, so you can get a better look at that QR code and sign up beforehand by heading to KXLY.com.
And if you are planning to head out there on Saturday, we are expecting pretty nice conditions for this evening. Same story. Mostly clear skies as we head into the overnight hours. Our high today of 72 degrees, well above the seasonal average of 56 for this time of year. Temperatures here falling slowly over the next couple of hours. We'll be down into the lower 50s by about 9 p.m. this evening, and then 11 p.m. down to 51 degrees. Overnight low in downtown Spokane is going to be 44 degrees. This is where we will start your Thursday. Those winds nice and light as well. Now, if you're heading outdoors tomorrow, wanting to get the four-legged friend for a walk, 8 a.m. it's going to be chilly. This is one of those days where you're going to want to dress in layers. So like I mentioned, 8 a.m. we'll be in those mid-40s, but then climbing into the lower 70s by 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and plenty of sunshine to go with it as well. As we move into this upcoming Saturday, you can see warm temperatures continuing, but we are bringing in a little bit more cloud cover, and then we've got a cold front pulling through on Sunday. So much cooler temperatures. With that, rain chances return to the region as well, and that marks the beginning of what's going to be a big change in our weather pattern. We're going to be talking more about that coming up in just a little bit.
And speaking of the weather changing, winter is quickly approaching, and that means it will soon be time to break out those puffy winter jackets. We are starting our collection from new and gently used coats for families in need in our annual Coats for Kids drive. We're about halfway through so far. Chris Crocker is at Flying Squirrel in Spokane Valley tonight for STCU night. And Chris, I hear donating can score you a pretty amazing deal there.
You know, you can't, if you donate a coat, you get an hour of free jump time. 2 coats, 2 hours of free jump time. If you have 10 kids, you bring 10 coats, all 10 kids can jump. It's an amazing deal. And oh my gosh, Kirsten, the smiles, the pure joy, it is just heaven here. Oh, yes, it is so much fun here. And you know, this is what it's all about, is making sure we take care of our kids and put a warm coat on every kid in the Inland Northwest. Flying Squirrel's helping us with us. STCU has been a big help with that. Marty Dickinson is here to talk about, you said you've already collected 400 coats, but you've got branches all all over the place, and you want to see that number grow, and you've got a challenge.
I do. I'm going to put a challenge out to our STCU members. So for all STCU members and our employees, we want to get to 1,000 coats, Chris. So I'm calling all folks out there to please come by one of our branches and drop off some coats. It's so important. This is such a wonderful thing that you do every year, and it's really easy to do. So please join us in getting to 1,000.
And I know STCU members step up. If you tell them to donate, they will show up in mass.
Yes. Yeah, we know how to rally and we know how to take a hill. So I just had to put a number out there for everybody. So we're going to get to 1,000.
Okay, if you get 1,000 coats, we'll get them cleaned and into the hands of kids who need them just in time for winter. A lot of these kids here are STCU kids.
Yeah, we have our employees here tonight. So we're so excited to have our STCU folks, and our STCU folks show up too all the time. So it's fun to reward them and appreciate them for what they do for our community as well.
Well, thank you, Marty. Thank you, Flying Squirrel. Thank you, Papa Murphy's. We have got some great sponsors this year, Alsco Cleaners, and Kirsten, I'm done playing dodgeball. I think I'm done jumping for the day. I'm heading back to do a little news. I will take a hug, though. This one is...
Chris, we were zoomed in on that little toddler in the hot pink shirt earlier. She's fearless because those are some big kids out there, and we wanted to see you jumping around with her too. But what a fun night to be an STCU member and a member of their team as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, while many online shoppers enjoy the luxury of receiving packages within a day or two, that could change for some. UPS started limiting its deliveries to rural communities like in Elk this week. Marissa Rio shares how this is impacting local residents.
UPS is doing this through their rural deferment program. So all these homes behind me will be affected. This doesn't only impact online shoppers, but it also impacts local businesses and wildfire survivors. UPS will no longer deliver to the Elk community on Mondays and Wednesdays. Ginger Lissenberry owns a print shop and depends on UPS to ship the items she needs for her orders.
I get 3 to 4 deliveries, sometimes 5 a week, and I run on the UPS schedule. If they tell me it's coming Monday, I can let my customers know. And it throws us behind. And I'm paying for a service that I'm technically not getting.
Locals say they love living in Elk, but it can be a 20 to 30-minute drive to any major shopping center.
If there's not something in one of our smaller towns, our rural towns, then we have to make the commute to Spokane. And so I'm not really a big one to drive to Spokane, so I prefer to do online shopping because then it just comes right to my house.
UPS said in a statement, "We are consolidating deliveries in certain zip codes to help our drivers more efficiently serve our customers." Over 4,000 people live in Elk. This program potentially affects hundreds, if not thousands.
I didn't actually hear anything from UPS about it until Friday. My UPS driver told me. We were not given any notification by mail, email, nothing. My UPS driver told us, and he is upset.
UPS says this will not affect critical healthcare deliveries using UPS Premier. I spoke to one woman who said she lost her home in the Oregon Road fire. This directly impacts her because she heavily relies on UPS deliveries for parts to rebuild her home. Reporting here in Elk, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Marissa. The man at the center of the 18-year-old Natalee Holloway missing persons case has admitted to killing her on a beach using a cinder block to smash her face and dispose of her body in the ocean. Joran Vandersloot made that confession as part of a plea deal with federal prosecutors for extortion and wire fraud charges. And because of that deal, he is not convicted of her murder and will not serve any time for it. Vandersloot was the prime suspect in Holloway's disappearance. Her body was never found, and she was declared legally dead in 2012. The teen's mother says her nightmare is now over.
I got the answer I've been searching for the past 18 years. Joran Vandersloot's confession means we have finally reached the end of our never-ending nightmare.
The judge sentenced Vandersloot to 20 years in prison to run concurrently with a previous murder sentence. He will also have to pay more than $21,000 in restitution to Holloway's family. The rumors between Gonzaga and the Big 12 are heating up. The latest details on the potential move and what that could prevent it from happening altogether. Coming up next in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Just Between Friends.
If you have a vehicle you no longer need, you can give it new purpose through Union Gospel Mission. Simply go to ugmmotors.org or call 509-327-HELP to schedule a pickup. Your donation gives people like Tyler food, shelter, job training, and the opportunity for a whole new life. Be a driver of change. Donate your vehicle to Union Gospel Mission.
Can we really trust Lisa Brown? She hands out our tax dollars to convicted felons, like Lataxion, a 3-strikes felon convicted of attempted murder. On Brown's watch, the Department of Commerce gave Lataxion a $50,000 taxpayer grant. Then he was arrested for strangling his girlfriend while her young kids were home. She even granted money to the Bail Project of Spokane, which bails out violent offenders. We can't trust Lisa Brown to keep Spokane safe.
Fred's has the latest Samsung kitchen appliances in stock and on sale. Save up to 15% when you bundle 3 select appliances.
Samsung bespoke models let you customize the look of your kitchen with a huge variety of colors to choose from.
Choose from gas or electric ranges and a variety of colors and styles.
Need a new dishwasher? Samsung dishwashers have dual wash arms and a rotating spray jet to clean even the dirtiest dishes.
Stop by your local Fred's Appliance and see the latest in kitchen appliances.
This is important information from AARP and BECU. Caregiving is the nation's most common job, with 54 million people nationwide acting as a caregiver to their loved one. To honor and support Washington's caregivers, AARP presents the Caring for Caregivers video podcast series. The series features discussions with local experts, community leaders, and caregivers on a range of topics, including financial planning, housing options, healthy aging, and more. To catch up on current and past episodes, visit this website.
Hey Spokanites, it's Megan from Waterwise Spokane, and we have a challenge for you. Starting October 10th through the 22nd, keep an eye out for the golden stencil near storm drains in your neighborhood and all across the city boundaries. When you find a stencil, head to this website to enter, and if you want an extra entry, send in a fun selfie and it can be featured on KXLY. Winners will receive a gift card to a local business. We can't wait to see what you come up with and enjoy exploring Spokane, and remember, drains are for rains.
You know, Bob Dylan once sang, "The times, they are a-changin'," and Gonzaga fans might be adding that song to their playlist very soon. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesota. College basketball insider Andy Katz is reporting that Gonzaga could be changing conferences and moving to the Big 12 in the near future. Reports say Gonzaga would bring 6 sports to the Big 12 for the regular season. The remaining sports would meet at championship competitions. Now, there are some financial hurdles, including TV revenue shares for the NCAA tournament. Last week, Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark laid out his plan to add Gonzaga as soon as next year. That timeline is still considered unlikely. The Big 12 has had his eyes on Gonzaga for several months now. It is widely considered as the best basketball conference in the country. Former Gonzaga basketball star Drew Timme was waived by the Milwaukee Bucks. Timme was signed by the Bucks over the summer. He played in the NBA Summer League and a couple preseason games. Timme's future is now uncertain. He could be picked up by another team or join the Bucks G League team, the Wisconsin Herd. The NBA season tips off on October 24th. Washington State football is getting closer to full strength. Wide receiver Lincoln Victor has almost fully recovered from an ankle injury that sidelined him against UCLA and limited him last week. Head coach Jake Dickert says Victor will be at 90 to 95% for Saturday's game against Oregon. Victor had 4 catches for 19 yards in limited playing time last week. Victor led the team in catches before suffering the injury in week 4 of the season. Now, a fully healthy Victor, that's good news for the Cougars.
I think he's had 2 really good days of practice, finished all the way through in the red zone area today, so I think we'll get him by Saturday really close to where he's at, but not quite 100%.
And it's a huge one. Washington State and number 9 Oregon will kick off at 12:30 on Saturday, and you can watch the game right here on KXLY. The Seattle Mariners are not competing for a World Series trophy this year, but the team could still go home with some hardware. Mariners All-Star outfielder Julio Rodriguez is a finalist for the Gold Glove Award. Gold Gloves are given to the best defenders at each position in all of baseball. Rodriguez committed only 2 errors all season. If Rodriguez wins, he will be the first Mariner to earn a Golden Glove since J.P. Crawford and Evan White in 2020. And the winners of the Gold Glove Awards will be announced on November 5th. That'll wrap us up for sports. Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When your toilet's running, your drain is clogged, you've blown a fuse, or your outlet has suddenly just stopped working, your local Ace Hardware store has just what you need to take care of those overwhelming plumbing and electrical issues today. We're right around the corner with a large selection of plumbing and electrical supplies in stock. And we've got the helpful folks that'll answer all your plumbing and electrical questions. Come see us today.
It was in August, fires raged through our area. This one, the Gray Fire in Medical Lake. Homes destroyed, trees destroyed along with it. They've got to come down and get moved out for the rebuild. We're here in mid-October to help move them. The 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by and with volunteers from Horizon Credit Union.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Krystexxa.
Krystexxa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Krystexxa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Krystexxa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Krystexxa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Krystexxa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Krystexxa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Krystexxa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Krystexxa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Krystexxa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
Andes Heating, Cooling, Electrical guarantees to keep your home safe and warm. Your comfort is Andes' priority. Get ready for the cold with a high-efficiency furnace from Carrier and turn to the experts. Andes offers a wide range of top-quality heating systems that are both reliable and environmentally friendly. Andes' team of experts are highly trained and experienced, so you can trust Andes to diagnose and fix any issue efficiently. Andes Heating, Cooling, Electrical, your trusted Carrier experts since 1972.
I'd like to buy a vowel, Ken.
Oh, we're fresh out.
Respond like a pirate. 100, please.
What is the
Arctic? What is arsenal? Go.
That was hard.
It was hard.
Celebrity Jeopardy, new tonight on ABC.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tin Roof.
Okay, maybe you're making some last-minute plans for the weekend. Why not head to the Water Circus, coming to the Valley Mall parking lot? This is so cool. Our KXLY Plus anchor, Sydney Berger, is joining me now. And Sydney, you had the chance to sit down with the show manager and performer Morgane Rosenthal to hear about what makes this show different than your typical circus.
Yeah, Kirsten, there's a lot going on. It's a very unique performance. You know, all the performers are doing tricks in the middle of the stage, and then there's the water element. There's 35,000 gallons of water on the stage. So there's the elements of the traditional circus, and then you get the pushing the boundaries of the water and the brand new tricks.
Wow, it sounds like Las Vegas or something cool like that.
We have a trampoline act with some crazy pirates. Juggling, rolla bola. We have our contortionist. She performs in a giant aerial bubble. So it's really unique act that you won't find anywhere else.
Those are just a few of the things that you'll be able to see. Morgane also told me some of the artists in the show are generational circus performers, which means they're learning these tricks from their parents who are learning from their parents. Aww. So even though it's a water circus is a new style, lots of the ideas and the tricks just being passed down for years.
That's really cool, and I would love to be able to brag about my grandma doing this aerial silk or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, the Spokane Valley Mall parking lot.
Exactly. And there's also a way you could get your kids in for free into that show. You can watch the whole video and figure out that tip on the KXLY Plus app on your smart TV, or head to the story on KXLY.com.
Ooh, free things. Everybody's ears, everybody's listening. Okay, KXLY.com. Head over. Thank you, Sydney. Great to have you with us. Let's send it over to Emily Bloom for a look at your forecast.
Sounds like such a cool event. Well, beautiful conditions for us today, and that's continuing. Temperatures right now all across the region. Most of us have fallen into the 60s at this point, and temperatures will continue to fall here over the next couple of hours. We're down into the lower 50s by 9 p.m. and then 51 at 11 tonight. Overnight low in Spokane is going to be 44 degrees, mostly clear and mild, and those winds nice and light. This is where we're going to be as you're waking up on your Thursday. Most of us are going to be in the 40s, low, mid, and upper 40s all across the region. Just a few areas, Colville and Kalispell, in those 30s for the overnight temperatures. By tomorrow afternoon, we're back up to 71 degrees, sunny skies and warm conditions. In terms of how we get there, tomorrow's one of those days where you're going to want to dress in probably several layers. We're going to start the day in those mid 40s, and then we're up to 71 by 3 p.m. and plenty of sunshine. Soak up that vitamin D while you can, because things are going to be changing. Most of us making it into those lower 70s by tomorrow afternoon. Just a few areas holding into the upper 60s. Now, these temperatures in the lower 70s, well above the seasonal average for this time of year, but you can see that shift Saturday into Sunday. What we've got going on, a cold front is pulling through, bringing much cooler temperatures. Rain back into the forecast. You can see on Sunday, looking at least a 50% chance of rain. And then that kind of sets the stage for next week as well. By the middle of next week, we are looking at mountain snow, widespread frost as well. So you're going to want to cover up the plants and bring in the hose. That's something you're going to want to be planning on here soon. 4 News Now will be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Spokane's homeless plan is not working. In the last 6 years, Spokane's homeless rate has nearly doubled, while the U.S. rate barely increased. And while many unhoused persons genuinely need a helping hand, others have accelerated Spokane's problems of crime and open drug use. Similar-sized U.S. cities don't have these problems, but Spokane became home to the largest homeless camp in the state of Washington. Why Spokane? Hear the answer at curingspokane.com.
Luxurious Karastan carpets are just the footing you need to live beautifully. And now, during National Karastan Month, you can save beautifully. Use your exclusive rebate to receive up to $1,000 back on select styles of Karastan carpets and the flawless craftsmanship of Luxe Craft hard surface flooring. Live beautifully, save beautifully with Karastan at Panhandle Carpet One, Floor and Home.
Save up to $1,000 on Karastan flooring at Panhandle Carpet One.
This is a great opportunity to recognize the people who are behind the scenes doing the work.
STCU's Volunteers Count showcases people who volunteer.
There's just so many people that need so much help.
This grant that we just received is going to be such a blessing.
This is quite an honor. It will help so many people.
Tell us about a volunteer who inspires you. Go to KXLY.com/volunteerscount and nominate today.
Thanks to STCU and News 4 for doing this. It's amazing.
Did you just buy a new home and don't have a lot of extra cash on hand for furniture? Or are you upsizing your home and need to fill it? Consigned Furniture in Liberty Lake can help by saving you thousands on decorating your home. With over 60,000 square feet of inventory, we have a variety of unique, budget-friendly items that will add value while saving you a ton of money. And the best part? You don't have to overspend. Buy here and save up to 70% off retail with countless designer name brand options to choose from. Consigned Furniture, the smart way to buy, easy way to sell.
The Tire Store for auto repairs, tires, and wheels. At the Tire Store, they'll let you split up your repair bill over a couple months. Get your car fixed today. ASC certified, and you can start an account with no credit check. Tire Store.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Washington Cares Fund.
We know you're waiting to hear Netflix is $23 a month soon. Uh-oh.